thank all of you for welcoming me, giving me a very, very warm welcome. I wish it was actually an in-person event so that I could give you a hug, but it's not possible, right, because of the crazy pandemic. So I'm looking forward to next year's event that I'll actually be there in person, and we'll get to hug each other and share more information together. We have limited time, so I'll get into it. But before I get into it again, thank you so much, Dr. Irene, for having me. I also want to thank Dr. Abby, who came before me, did an extraordinary job before I jumped on when she was just expressing how fortunate you youths are. And actually, yes, you are very, very fortunate. I pray you are taking this program that Dr. Ashu has put together. Take it seriously. This is actually going to set you apart from your peers. So she extended this invitation a couple of weeks ago. I'm a very, very busy man. And the only reason I accepted this invitation for three reasons. The first one is Dr. Ashu Irene is somebody I cannot say no to. So that's kind of crazy. I cannot say no to her. We've come a very long way. She was my student, but now a dear sister. And the second reason I accepted the invitation was because I did not have to fly. I didn't have to jump on an airplane, then get to Canada. We know the whole world is on the shutdown, right? So nobody is traveling. So I said, okay, if I don't have to travel, I might as well just sit in front of my computer and just do this thing. And the third and most important reason was because she mentioned the fact that this program was tailored for youths. That's the reason why I said, you know what, I'm crazily busy, but when it comes to youth, you guys are the future of tomorrow. So I had to do whatever it was going to take for me to jump on here and actually share with you some things that I'm doing. These things, if I knew these things 10, 20, 30 years ago, I promise you my results will be 100 times better than what it is today. Yes, I'm busy. I own multiple businesses. I'm very, very successful. But again, if I had known all these things, I would have been 100 times more successful. And how did I get here? I'm originally from Cameroon, West Africa. And I live in the United States now, came to the United States May of 2002. You'll get to hear from my wife tomorrow. She's equally amazing. Before I got to the US, I had most of the degrees anybody could think of. I was fortunate. I taught back home all my life. I had an extensive resume, so I had a teaching job at Howard University here in Washington, D.C. My background is environmental engineering. So I taught at Howard University, also taught at George Washington University, and then I branched out into business. Don't ask me why, but I think one of the reasons is because business got to pay me more than my teaching job was. So that's the reason. So a lot of the things that I'll be sharing with you today are things that I've done practically. And as I said, when it comes to youths, I don't play around with that. All my three kids, they will be joining this program tomorrow. I have a 12-year-old, I have a 14-year-old, and a 16-year-old. And what I will be telling you is exactly what I tell them each and every day. So if you are ready, let me share my screen, let me share my slides, and then we'll be off to it right now. Let me see here. Bear with me. I'm old school, I'm low tech, but high tech. So just bear with me while I try to figure this thing out. Okay, let me see. Okay, did my slides come up? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
All right. Okay. I'm getting better each and every day, right? I'm getting better when it comes to this tech stuff. So today we'll be talking on a very, very important topic. Tomorrow I'll be speaking again, but setting goals. But this is more important. If you cannot actually get this one straight, honestly, you have challenges in life. Dr. Abi, I heard her talk about putting your resume together. Everything that we'll be sharing with you on this platform within these couple of days that you'll be taking this course, if you put it together and implement it, you'll get results. I said implement it, because you can study all this stuff and take all the notes you want to take, but if you don't implement, implementation is actually key. So time management, let me remind you, we all have 24 hours in a day. I learned this a long time ago. My mentor told me, hey, Ian, and we're not talking about money here, but my mentor told me something that made a lot of sense. He told me, hey, Ian, we all have 24 hours in a day, and somebody in their 24 hours in a whole year, somebody's making $1 million in a year, and then somebody makes $100,000 in a year. They both have, we can all agree that they both have the exact amount of time in 1 year. But somebody is making $1 million and somebody is making $100,000. And he told me the difference is the person who is making $1 million knows how to manage their time well. They manage their activities. Meanwhile, the person who is making $100,000 in a year, they just play. Both of them have the exact amount of time, but one is just playing around and not doing what they are supposed to do to get the results they need to get. So just look at these questions and just if that has ever been you, because and this does not just apply to youths, it also applies to us adults as well. Have you ever felt like I don't have enough time? Give me a thumbs up if you have ever felt that way. Okay, Emmanuel, I like that honesty. Emmanuel, you know, at times you feel like you don't have enough time. But again, remember, we all have 24 hours in a day, 168 hours in a week. Have you ever found yourself feeling like, I wish I had more time to complete my homework? Okay. Have you ever found yourself feeling like I'm juggling too many balls at the same time? And then have you ever found yourself thinking, oh, my poor time management is affecting my life? If that's you, pay very close attention. So why time management? Why do you need to manage your time? Well, if you manage your time, you are actually going to get the most value out of your time. You get the most value out of your time. So whatever time is available to you, you make the most out of the time that's available to you. Believe me or not, you are going to accomplish more in less time. I just gave you an example. In 12 months in a year, somebody's making $1 million and then somebody's making $100,000. The difference is not time. So the people who will manage their activities with the time they have, they're actually going to accomplish more. And then you're going to finish tasks and projects on time. You know, this, again, I have 3 adorable kids and I hate to see them, if their paper is due on the 10th and then the evening of the 9th, they are up all night trying to complete the project. That's not proper time management. It's improper time management. So if you manage your time, why should you manage time? It's going to improve the quality of your work. We all can agree, when you actually die last minute rushes, when you rush over that paper or that homework, can you imagine if you did that homework a week, 7 days to the deadline when you are supposed to turn it in? Well, you have more than enough time to read over it, right? And if there are any errors, guess what? You get to correct them. But the person who rushes over the homework towards the last minutes, you submit it with those errors. And probably that's why having a B grade, hopefully none of you is having a B grade or C grade, because I believe all of you under the sound of my voice, you should be A grade students. Yeah. And again, I'm not telling you stuff that I'm actually not implementing. You are 2 brothers here and a sister. They undergo this. They feel at times it's like pressure, but that's why all 3 of them are 4.0 students. They know how to manage their activities. It gets to improve the quality of their work. And then if you avoid things becoming urgent. I already said that. 9-minute rushes. You are nervous. Am I going to make it? Am I going to complete this homework to turn it in? That's why you should manage your time. And then it makes you more reliable. Your teachers, your parents, your friends, your community can depend on you. That's what this program is so powerful that Dr. Irene has put together. She is preparing the leaders of tomorrow. And in order for you to become a community leader, you got to be reliable. If you always show up late and turn in your paper late, nobody's going to vote for you. Nobody. People have to trust you. You got to be reliable, and you earn it. You got to earn it. It doesn't just come by chance. And then once you do that, can you imagine how relaxed you'll be? You turn your papers on time. Then you have this ample time. You have spare time that you can relax with family, friends. And you other leisure, other things of pleasure that you want to do, you have more than enough time to do that. So this is why. But again, there are some myths about time management. There are some myths about, don't buy into this. It's not true. Time management is nothing but common sense. I do well in school, so I must already be managing my time effectively. No. Some of you, yes, you are A students, but still, if you think you are an A student, you don't need to manage your activities and your time, you are wrong. No, just because you're doing well at school doesn't mean you are managing your activities and time well. It's also a myth to think that it takes all the fun out of life. No, it doesn't. Again, we all have 24 hours. We'll get down to scheduling. If you schedule everything right, I promise you, you have more fun than the people who actually just focus on playing, and at the end, they end up being nervous that they didn't complete their work on time. It's also a myth. Time management, I work better under pressure. I don't know who works better under pressure. I don't. I see Hansel cracking up. Yeah, you don't. Hansel, you are very, nobody works well under pressure. Yeah. And then it's also another myth, no matter what I do, I won't have enough time. This one is big. It means, oh boy, that Minecraft is not resting. Or you spend all your time on Minecraft. No, it won't work. Again, it's 24 hours in a day. We'll show you how you can allocate your time right and do these activities, and you become more successful than the ordinary person who is actually not doing it. So the truth about time management, this is the honest truth. All of you should know this. All these points, if you're taking notes or you want to take a screenshot, this is very, very critical. This is the truth about time management. It increases productivity. It does. So again, as Dr. Irene said, I own 4 businesses. So, but I manage my time and my activities well. So I get to make sure that all these businesses are running well. And guess what? I own 4 businesses and I'm more productive than somebody who only owns 1. How is that possible? 4 versus 1, and then I'm more successful than the person who owns just 1 business. Why? Because I'm managing my activities and my time well. It increases my productivity when I do that. Guess what? It reduces your stress. Isn't it true that when you rush in that homework at the very last minute to go turn it, you're stressed out? You're so stressed out because you're trying to do it at the very last minute. But if you do it on time, you are so relaxed, very, very relaxed, so it actually reduces your stress. And the third point is it improves your self-esteem. You remember I earlier said it makes you reliable? When people count on you, it gives you the right posture. You have the right self-esteem. So you walk up to your teacher, you are very, very confident. I did this paper right. I read it, I read through the paper, I made sure there are no errors. Everything that I submitted is right. So that's why your self-esteem will be up. And then it helps you achieve balance in life. This is a very, very important one. It helps you balance in life. You don't want to be a jack of all trades, but master of none. You don't want to be that person. It's like have enough time to play video games, have enough time to do your homework, have enough time to help your parents. That's why, you know what, let me give you an example. In my household, my 16-year-old, they have this just daily routine jobs in the house that my wife has well scheduled for them. Nathan gets out of bed, he's a basketball player. So he gets out of bed 7 a.m. That's his schedule. He made the schedule. We didn't impose that on him. 7 a.m. he's up. Between 7 and 9, he goes jogging. He does his workout. This is something he's been doing for over a year. He's 16. So he comes back 8 o'clock. Between 8 o'clock and 8:30, Nathan he goes to the sink, he does the dishes. That's his schedule. He does the dishes from that schedule from between 8:30 and 9. After that, they have 2 hours to sit down and read. It could be any book, a journal, any book they have to read for 2 hours. And guess what? From midday till 3 o'clock, 3 hours, all the Minecraft they want to play. It's all Minecraft. And then after 3 o'clock, between 3 and 4, they relax. In between that, they get their snacks and they eat. After 3 and 4, nothing. They just stroll around the house or outdoors outside, and they just relax. And then from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, all of us, myself, the 3 kids, my wife, we have what we call a family walk. It's about 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. We just go out, walk within the community. For these past 4 months, that's all of us have been in a lockdown. That's just a routine now. That's a balanced life. Then we come back, we get dinner, and then they play a little more. And by 9 p.m., nobody tells them, 9 p.m., everybody is in bed. Everybody is in bed. So that's a balanced life. You know what? If you're actually doing that as well, it increases your self-confidence. So you go to school, you are not just like any other child out there. You are very, very confident that you're doing the right things. You are helping your parents. You're doing your work when you are supposed to do it. You're doing the right thing. Your community respects you. You are reliable. So that in the future, we can vote you as the mayor of your city, right? I missed the mayor's speech. I wish I was on here. Some of you will be mayors and governors tomorrow, but it starts with this. It starts with this. And then last but not the least, it helps you to reach your goals. And again, tomorrow I'll be talking about goal settings. You have to have goals. You have to have dreams. As young people, you have to aspire, to do great things around the world, which is extremely very, very important. So we've taken a look at the myths and what is very, very true about time management. Now I'll give you the next 2 slides, very, very critical. The next 2 slides, 20 quick tips for better time management. 20 quick tips for better time management. So create a daily plan / schedule. I just told you about Nathan and his siblings, their schedule, right? You need one. You need a daily schedule. Come up with one and present it to your parents. Please. Sit down through it and make adjustments. It's for your own good. You'll be so productive if you have a daily plan and schedule. Then allocate a time limit to each task. So I told you Nathan gets up at 7, takes a run for 1 hour. He has his iPhone, he will set it, and then he puts on his earpieces, and then he's playing music, and he's jogging for 1 hour. So you allocate a time to each task. So if he's doing dishes, hey, if he's sweeping, Lenora does this cleaning of the house every morning. It's 1 hour. And then little Ian, who is 12, hey, that's the trash guy, and then he cleans the dining table. So, and use a calendar. Use a calendar. I know this can be very, very funny for younger people like yourself. You think, oh man, this old man is telling us about the calendar. We have our smartphones. Yes, you guys have a lot of apps that you can actually use. So that's still a calendar, whether it's on your smartphone, but use a calendar. It's very, very important. I'm old school, so I have my calendar. It's right on the wall. I still write things on it, and I make sure that I execute them. And then use an organizer. Again, a lot of apps that you can organize that will prioritize things for you. This is of top priority. And then it's going to organize your activities for you for the day. So this is key as well. Know your deadlines. This is key, especially all of you are students, right? Your teachers will give you all this homework and know the deadline. They'll always give you ample time to they're not rushing you to submit this paper, the homework today. So know the deadlines. It's very, very important. And not just at school. If you have some activities at church or just community events, it's very, very important for you to know your deadlines. Again, because if you don't meet deadlines, you will not be reliable. Nobody is going to look up to you. And once you are not reliable in your community, it means they don't trust you. They cannot trust you when it comes to time. Don't let that be you. When people trust you that you keep to time, you are good. I tell Nathan, Lenora, and Ian, I tell them that if you have to do something at 9 o'clock, you show up at 9 o'clock, you are late. You're already late. You have to be there at least 10 to 15 minutes. If you have an appointment at 9 o'clock, you show up at 9 o'clock, or you are late. You're already late. So the person who shows up early, that's the person who is being looked up to as being reliable. And then learn to say no. Young people, please learn how to say no. Don't say yes to everything. Don't sit on the table doing your homework and your neighbors, your friend who is next door comes knocking on the door or ringing on the bell and asking you, hey, Glory, come, let's go play. And you abandon your homework and go play. No, don't do that. I'm sorry for calling you out, Glory. It was just an example. I'm not saying you do that. But please, what I'm saying is learn to say no to certain things. You people are actually at the age right now of knowing what is good and bad, right? You are. Like I tell Nathan, Lenora, and Ian, I tell them, Nathan just completed his driving course, and thank God he did, and they were actually trying to describe to them what drugs are. You know, you are at the age where you can be pulled left and right. We live in a crazy community. Please say no to people taking you left and right in the wrong direction. That is very, very important. And if you don't know what to do, please ask your parents if this is a good or bad thing. Tell me, hey, tell mom or dad, Mom, Dad, I was at school and this guy was giving me this thing that I don't know what it is. Please don't take anything that you don't know what it is. I'll say don't even touch it. It's led a lot of kids into trouble. And then target to be early. We said this right. If the appointment is at 9 o'clock, you show up at 9 o'clock, you are late. Show up 10 minutes to 9. That's when you are early. If you show up exactly on time, you are late. I don't know how, I've visited Dr. Irene at her beautiful home in Canada, but I don't know very much how the transportation system out there is. But right here in the Washington, D.C. metro area here in the United States, and through this program, she was sharing with me some incredible things. You people will get to travel the world through her initiative, and I just thank God for that. So you get to see this firsthand, what I'm talking about. We have the metro system. The metro, if it has specific times and stops. So it pulls up. If you have to jump on at 9 o'clock, if you show up at 9 o'clock, that's the doors are shutting. You can't get in. It's just like jumping on an airplane. So when we say it's the plane takes off at 9 o'clock, it means you have to be there 15 or 10 minutes to take off time. Don't show up on time, because if you show up on time, you are late. Time box your activities. We already explained this. time. You want to make sure that each activity has a carved out time frame for that. And then guess what? Have a clock visibly placed before you. You people think, you know, it's 1:25 now. I know I have this training, so I have my clock, it's on. This might sound like old school to you, but always when you're doing your homework, yes, now you have your smartphones, make sure you set the clock. Have a clock visibly placed before you. That helps to guide you through your activities. And then set reminders 15 minutes before. I just said this over and over, right? That if you have an appointment at 9 o'clock, you show up at 9 o'clock, you are late, be there 15 minutes before time. That's what that actually is. And focus is very, very key. Girls and boys, you got to be focused. It will only make you better. Focus in everything. If you want to play Minecraft for 3 hours, focus and play Minecraft. That is good. I like that. For 3 hours. But I'm not, if you play Minecraft for 7, 8, 10 hours, no. And that's, you just over focusing on that. If you have to read a book or 10 pages of a book, focus. If it's 30 minutes to an hour, make sure that 1 hour you're giving it your all. That is called focus. So whatever time you allocate to do something, follow it through until you complete it. And then block out distractions. This was supposed to be number one. We live in a world that is full of distractions, right? Whether it's the internet, whether it's the cell phones, this at the top, whether it's TV, the news, right? We live in a world full of distractions. So if you're not blocking out distractions, hey, you can't be productive if you don't block out distractions. These distractions are everywhere, and they are very, very tempting. And it has, you know, distractions, they distract even adults, they distract us. What more of younger people like you? But if you are aware of distractions and you are very, very focused on the task at hand, nothing is actually going to distract you. And we'll talk a little more about distractions. And then track your time spent. That's why you always have to have a clock. So this presentation, Dr. Irene gave me 50 minutes to an hour. I cannot go on for 2 hours. It's going to destabilize the whole program. It's an hour. So I have to track my time that I'm spending in presenting this information to you. And then don't force about unimportant details. Please don't force over the trivial things that are not very, very important. It's not, so that's just distracting yourself. We'll talk about prioritizing. I mentioned that, right? If you have an organizer, what is the most important thing to you? What is very, very important to you? Is it playing Minecraft or having an A grade? You have to choose. You have to, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should not play games. You have to prioritize and make sure that each activity is well scheduled. And then delegate. This is for you right now at your ages. Delegate. I delegate. You don't really need to delegate anything. I delegate a lot of the things, like my flyers. If I have a business, if I have a business seminar coming up, I don't sit down and do the flyers. I just delegate. I actually go online, and there are people in India. I'll source it with $10. I'll have the most beautiful flyer on the planet. $10. But if I sit down to do that flyer myself, it might take a whole day. Why? Because I'm low tech. So I don't know how to do it. So I better delegate in order to be more effective. And then you batch similar tasks together. This is very, so batching similar tasks together, let's say you have to go outdoors and play games, and some people are playing basketball, some people playing footballs, some people playing soccer, whatever it is. You just want to make sure that similar activities, you put them together, it makes you more effective. And then eliminate time wasters. We'll talk about I already mentioned some of the time wasters, honestly. If you are not disciplined, your cell phone, this thing is very, very helpful, but it could consume your time. If you spend all your time going to YouTube, my daughter told me the other day, Daddy, Facebook is for old people. I said, Facebook is for old people. What's that? TikTok. She gave me another name. I think it's TikTok or something. And, you know, but whatever it is, but you want to make sure that you don't spend 24 hours on your cell phone. So cut off when you need to. You have to be, this is called discipline. So if you have to play that game for 1 hour, play it for 1 hour, and after 1 hour, you are done. Then leave buffer time in between so that you can actually play. Something I really want to point out here that you want to see, you see do, delegate, delay. You see, I'll bring this up. And the last one is what? Delete. Delete. Delete simply means those things you don't just take on things that are not necessary. Don't touch them. But right below it says time saved is time earned. Time saved is time earned. Let me tell you something. Let me share with you. The other day, I shared an article with my 12-year-old son. His name is bright guy, and he's trying to do coding. He's going to the 7th grade. But he does coding just on the side, just coding. So I bought a coding course for him on Udemy, and he's 12. And I was reading an article about an 18-year-old who started coding when he was also 12, and now he's making well over $1 million in a year off of his coding. He's an 18-year-old. And then I was telling Ian that, hey, there are other 18-year-olds who cannot even bring home $100 in a month or in a year. But this is an 18-year-old. They are both 18-year-olds. One is already making $1 million, and some are still just wondering what in the world is happening. But there is some 18-year-old who is making $1 million. Why? Time saved. They saved time. They didn't get caught up with all the distractions going on in the world that I have to conform. You have to belong. Just because my friends are playing Minecraft, I have to play Minecraft. Don't be that child. Don't conform. Do something because you feel it's important for you to do. Not because A is doing it and B is doing it. So if I don't do it, I'll be left out. No, don't do that. Don't let that be you, because time saved is time earned. And this will kind of summarize it. I said it already. There are 24 hours in a day, 168 hours in a week, right? It's how you're spending your own hours. This is how you can easily allocate your activities. There are certain things that are very urgent, extremely very, very urgent. You know why? Those are important things. Those things that are urgent and important, do them now. Do them now. So if you have to eat at 12 o'clock, eating is an absolute necessity. To exercise, those are important things. Do them when you are supposed to do them. And then the things that are not very, very urgent and not very, very important, plan to do them later. You can do them later. And then if it's not important, you see right here, reject it. Don't do it. Like trivia requests from others. Your friends coming over when you're doing your homework and they're actually beckoning on you to come out for you people to go play. That is not important. What is more important is that homework. Apparent emergencies, interruptions, and distractions. You see what this one in red? I said, wherever possible, reject and avoid these tasks if you can avoid them. But the ones that are not very, very urgent, you plan to do them later. But these ones, even resist if they are not important. If you can learn this one in red, if you can resist this and focus on the things that are important, like comfort activities, computer games, net surfing, and all those things, this second portion does not even apply to you. I don't know why. Let me see. You guys cannot be a part of, let me see. Unfortunately, okay, I can't take this. This is not supposed to be for you. It's supposed to be chat, text, social communications. I don't expect any child to be a part of this one. It's a mistake that it got in there. I thought I was preparing this presentation for some adult. So that's not for you. So what you should take from this, it should be the chart, the text, the social communication. That's what is important. So plan to avoid them. Avoid these ones right here. Please avoid them, because that's what is eating up your 24 hours. So within 24 hours, your friend is reading for 8 hours, and within the 24 hours, you spend your time on computer games, surfing the internet, and doing all these things. And you wonder tomorrow why some of them will have scholarships to go to a college and universities, Fulbright scholarships that your parents will not have to pay a dime. They were just disciplined to have certain activities that put them in that position. It's not that they are special. You are special. Every child can be that special child. And that's what we want you to be, especially now that you've actually become a special part of this amazing program that Dr. Irene put together. And we talked about setting priorities. What is setting priorities? What's important and what isn't? You should be able to distinguish that. That's priorities. Something should be has more weight than the other. So if it's eating, exercise, reading, playing video games, and then going to church on Sunday, whatever it is, you have all your activities. You have to know what is important and what isn't important to you. What order do things need to be done? That's what prioritization is. In what order do things need to be done? Well, I don't want to, belabor the point. There are just some things that are more important. Your studies are more important than video games, period. We cannot do it the other way around. It's just but very, very true that your studies are more important than video games. And should you put video games before your studies, hey, you probably might be on the wrong path. That's all I'm saying here. And then once you know what your priorities are, you need to plan out the schedule for school, the day and the week. That's important. Once you know what your priorities are, maybe to help your parents do the dishes, or clean the house, or clean your own room. Cleaning your own room is a top priority. When you get out of bed, the first thing you have to do is to clean your room and arrange your room. How many of you under the sound of my voice have ever been told by your parents that your room is not tidy? Be honest with me. Let me see, somebody should give me a yes. I like that honesty, Glory. Yeah. So that's a top priority. When you get out of bed, the first thing you have to do, make sure your room is very, very tidy. You will earn respect from your parents. Your parents will love you for doing that. Your peers will just look up to you that this is the girl, this is the boy with the cleanest, most organized room. That goes a long way. So planning may seem hard at first, but the more you do it, the easier and more natural it gets. It becomes like if you do something, it's been studies have proven that if you do something over and over for 21 days without interrupting it, 21 days. So try this. If you've not been cleaning up your room and making up your bed, for the next 21 days, do it like clockwork. Get out of bed. The first thing, organize your bed. Make sure your shoes are tidy. Your room is very, very tidy. Do that for the next 21 days, and it will become like second nature. So that should be a top priority for you as you get out of bed every single day. Young boys and girls, we cannot be talking about you doing big things in the world if you cannot clean your own room. Seriously, let's be honest. So it starts with you making up your bed and cleaning up your room to make sure that you live in a tidy. You're not doing it for your mom. You're not doing it for your dad. You're doing it for yourself so that you live in a clean environment. It all starts with living in a clean environment. And this is something I learned a long time ago. It's called procrastination. It says, never put off till tomorrow what you can do today. So the things that you can do today, never say, hey, I'll push it off till tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. No. Do them today. So don't say, I'll make up my bed tomorrow. No, making up your bed is a daily activity. Don't say, I'll just stay until, because I'm busy Monday through Friday, I'll just wait and clean up my room on Saturday. No, that's a no-no. It's daily. You got to clean up your room every single day. Don't push it off till tomorrow. That's one activity you can never push off. So it's called procrastination. Procrastination is my sin. It used to be my sin. You may delay, but time will not. So I know that I should stop it. Stop what? Stop procrastination. Stop it. In fact, I will tomorrow. No, it's not acceptable. It should be done today. Let me take a look at the chart. I think I have some, okay. And if you have anything that you want to actually drop in the chat, you can ask as well, but it was actually what those links that Dr. Abi asked you to drop in the chat. So this is how you overcome procrastination as we getting ready to land this whole plane. And at the end, I can take a couple of questions. So how do you overcome procrastination? This will answer all those questions. Win the mental battle by committing to being on time. We've said this over and over and over. So if you know that if you normally get your shower to go to school from 7 o'clock, hey, you want to make sure that by 6:45 you're up. Take 15 minutes to make up your bed and clean your room. As I earlier said, that's one of the things you cannot push off. You cannot. Don't say you wait for the whole 5 days and then you clean your room on Saturday. No. Set and keep deadlines. We said that, right? Keeping deadlines. So if your homework is due on the 20th of July, it's the 20th of July. But don't wait and do the homework on the 19th of July, midnight on the 19th. Why? If you do that, it doesn't give you room to read it and correct any errors that there might be on that assignment. You got to organize, schedule, and plan. That's where your schedule, we talked about it, schedule, a calendar, and an organizer, which you can actually, we have a lot of apps now on your cell phone that you can actually just download it. And all these are free apps and they will help you. Divide a big job into smaller ones. This is key. You don't eat an elephant all at one time, right? You actually chop it down in little chunks. That's how you eat an elephant. So let me give an example here. Dividing a big job into smaller ones. My son Nathan, he doesn't, voluminous books, he's just scared. If he sees, if you give him a book to read, if just looking at it physically, if it's a thick volume book, it's like, oh my God, Daddy, will I ever finish reading this book? This is a good example. I tell him, hey son, we don't expect you to read the whole book at a go. Just, schedule it that every day you only just read 10 pages. 10 pages of the book every single day. Before you realize the book is done, you would have read the book. Find a way to make a game of your work. You know what I mean by that? If you're not having fun doing what you're doing, that's when you find it so boring. Everything that you do in life, fun. If it's cleaning up your room, put up, turn on, Lenora is good at that, turn on one of those, your best music, make it loud, dance, there's one that they told me, my daughter was trying to teach me how to do it. You guys know how to mop? the mop. Oh my God, my daughter was teaching me how to mop. It was so cool. And we were doing it and she was cleaning her room, right? So you got to make it fun. So for those of you who don't know how to mop, you got to, by tomorrow, you just go pull it up and try to see if you can do some mopping. And then reward yourself when you are done. Daddy and mommy will always do this. Honestly, I tell all my 3 kids, hey, if for 7 days out of the week, I walk through your room, it's sparkling clean. At the end of the month, you know, you can pick your best restaurant, we'll go out, you eat whatever you want to eat. If you want to buy some additional toys, we do that. Your parents will do this, but you have to set the right pace. They will reward you for even cleaning your own room. They will. They will buy you more toys. They will buy you dresses. They'll do a lot of things for you. Tell your friends and family members to remind you of priorities and deadlines. Please don't be ashamed to ask your friends and your family members to, hey, mommy, remind me, my homework is due on the 22nd. Hey, dad, my homework is due on the 22nd. Hey, Brenda, my homework. Tell your friends, your sisters, your brothers to constantly remind you. You know what that is called? Is they hold you accountable. That's accountability. That's accountability. They're actually holding you accountable to make sure that you become successful in life. And again, I said this before, learn to say no to time wasters. Don't say yes to everything. Please do not. And we are actually, keep calm and get organized. Keep calm and get organized. It's very, very important. And now a quick review as we wrap this up. So let's get into the review. So take a look at that. This is, you can take a screenshot of this or take notes. This is very, very important. This summarizes what we've been talking about. So that's a review. Time and energy management can make you more productive and reduce your stress level. I gave a lot of examples. So if you want to do things at die minute, last minute, hey, your stress will just keep mounting. And at your age, you don't want that. And you don't want to practice that because they said practice makes progress, right? If you practice to be stressed out now as you grow older and get of my age or Dr. Irene's age, you'll just be more stressed. You want to totally eliminate that. Yeah. The way you do some things is the way you do everything. I repeat that. The way you do some things is the way you do everything. So, here are the 3 steps. Set goals. This is what I'll be talking on tomorrow. Very interesting topic. Totally different topic, but I'll teach you how you can set goals and accomplish your goals. One example of setting a goal is always post it. You can make it and post it where you can always see it and say, hey, every morning I get up 7 a.m. The first thing, I'll make up my bed and make sure my shoes are arranged in my room. That's a simple goal. And you do it every day. When you get of age, when you leave your parents and be on your own, believe me or not, you will have the most sparkling home. But if you don't practice to do it now, when you actually stay on your own, man, you might only want to clean up when your boyfriend or your girlfriend is coming over. That sucks. Yeah, you have to practice now, right? So, and make a schedule. A schedule is key. And then we have all these gadgets that you can actually, they can even organize it for you, make a schedule, and then most importantly, stick to your schedule. It's not just enough. I know a lot of people have a schedule, but never follow it. Of what good is a schedule if you cannot stick to the schedule? It's very, very important to stick to a schedule. And then be tough with your time. This was, I deliberately put this word here. What I simply mean by that is being tough is be very disciplined when it comes to your time. If you say you're going to do something at 2 o'clock, do it at 2 o'clock. If you say you're going to do something at midday, do it at midday. Don't push it because a friend had to call you and you had to converse over the phone and all that stuff. No. Practice that habit now. Actively avoid procrastination and time wasters. We just came from a slide that actually outlined that. And then learn to say no to distractions. A lot of distractions out there, believe me or not, tons of distractions. And then employ a variety of time management strategies to maximize your time. Again, I'll refer you back to, you have apps. You can easily download some apps that will actually help you organize and make you more productive in everything that you do in life. And then you relax and enjoy the extra time that you have actually discovered. This school, I'm telling you, I just pray and hope that you people are very appreciative of what Dr. Irene has put together. As I earlier said, if I actually learned stuff like this when I was of your age, my results, I'm successful today, but my results would have been 100 times, if not 1,000 times better than what I'm experiencing today. If I had learned these things when I was of your age, it's not just enough to learn it, but learn it and implement it. Implementation is, action is everything. So that is very, very key. So always remember this, time saved is time earned. And I pray and hope that you enjoy your time. I pray that you guys should, you are actually pioneering this. I might be wrong, but I believe I'm right. This is probably the first program, right? This is the first of its kind for the youth. So you guys are the pioneers. You guys are the pioneers of this program. Do you know what it will mean in the next 3 to 4 years? Do you know that in the next 5 years, you guys will be the ones training the youth? Yeah. You will be the facilitators of this program. And you will remember that, oh my God, today is July, what's the date of today?
14.
July 14th, I attended that time management course from this old guy in the United States. And today, you'll be facilitating the course in the next 3, 4, 5 years. And the vision that Dr. Irene has, and I'm saying this because she shared that with me, it's a fascinating vision. I cannot wait. Amen. There will come a time when some of you will be in front of a room with over 20,000 participants of this course in person, and you'll be sharing your experience and you will be training. That will be a fascinating experience. And I cannot wait to enjoy that time with you. And again, thank you so much, Doc, for having me be a part of this amazing vision. I cannot wait to see this blow up in the next coming years. So thank you so much, boys and girls. Again, please take the information to heart. This is what is actually going to separate you from the ordinary person. This is going to put you in the subset of extraordinary kids, just because you attended information like this and you took action. So thank you so much for your undivided attention. And now I think we have a couple of, 7 more minutes. I can take 1, 2, 3 questions if there is any, but I see the chat. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Thank you, Solange. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ethel. She says, thank you, Uncle. Thank you so much, Ethel. Emanuela, I learned a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. I cannot wait when it will be an in-person event that I can get to learn from you as well, when you people will be facilitating this program. Today's session was a bomb. I agree, Glory. You are just one focused lady. You're just sitting there and taking notes. I like that. Chelsea, thank you, sir, and God bless you. God bless you, Chelsea. And Emmanuel, thank you for the great tips. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Hansel, thank you. Thank you. Josiah, is it Josiah? Josiah, thank you so much, Josiah. Okay. Thank you so much, Kundwani. Sakala, thank you so much. Again, thanks to each and every one of you. You've separated yourselves. There are thousands of, if not millions of kids of your age just in your neighborhood right there, right? But how many of you are in this program? Yeah. So that already separates you from the majority, from the ordinary. You are now extraordinary. You have already separated yourself from the masses. So that's what makes a huge difference. Ella, thank you extremely so much. Olu, thank you so much, Olu. And again, that's it, Dr. Irene. Okay, Nde has a question. I have a question. Go ahead, Nde. You can either just unmute yourself and ask it, or you type it in the chat. It doesn't matter. Nde has a question. That's Victory.
Unmute yourself, Victory. And Dr. Ian, Victory is from Cameroon. She's in Cameroon.
Oh, oh my God. All right, Victory, come on. Ask your question. Okay, what do you do business-wise? As I said, I own 4 businesses. I started out in network marketing. I own a home-based business. I'm actually the vice president of a network marketing company. And I own a real estate business. My wife and I own a coaching business as well. So, and then recently, we actually just started a digital currency business as well. So you'll be hearing from my wife tomorrow. She's an amazing speaker. She's an author. Yeah. You're gonna actually love her tomorrow. So that's what I do as a business.
Okay, Dr. Ian, I'm so glad with what you have just shared here, and your presentation was fantastic. It was above the water. It blew off the socks that I never wore on from my leg. And I want to encourage all of you. Many of you yesterday were saying that, oh, I want to be a public speaker. I want to speak. I want to speak. This is an example. Do you know what I'm going to gain from here today? I'm going to steal. I'm going to be a thief today, because I'm going to steal his information and I'm going to use it to be coaching youth. His time management plan is awesome. I don't need to add anything. I don't need to subtract. I just need to take it like mine and just use it and make money out of it. What do you say about that? For all of you who have taken notes, you can go back into your respective areas and begin to speak like pros. When you see what he has done and you take it, begin to talk about time management skills, you begin to talk about how to motivate yourself in completing your tasks, how to set up goals. People are going to look at you and be like, wow. Your parents are going to be like, is this really my daughter or my son? So, Ian, thank you so much. Before you continue with your question, I'm telling you, I am stealing from you. Please, I've already taken the copyright without you giving it to me.
Thank you so much, Doc. Honestly, I just wanted to make a correction. That's not stealing. You have, as I said, I started out by saying, I can never say no to you. You have full rights to that information, and all of them, they can use it anywhere they want. All we want is for each and every one of you to become better. You just have to become better people. So this is not a confidential information. This is information that you should use to better off yourself and also your friends as well. But let me see, Victory had the question finally. What happens if the distraction is caused by your parents? Let me say this. I don't know what you really meant by that, Victory. At times you might think, let me be very, very honest. You might think, or let me rephrase it. At times, us parents, it's called tough love. So we tend to at times to be a little hard on you, and you might think that's a distraction. Honestly, I don't know your parents, but I know every parent is the same. They're actually standing up for you. They're defending your interests. But however, I don't know exactly what the situation is, but if that is a distraction, guess what? Tell mommy. That just 2 weeks ago, my daughter Lenora actually seriously blew my mind. We just actually had finished, it was a Sunday, and we actually had just finished watching for these 3 months. We haven't actually been in-person church service, so it was virtual. And she actually had an agenda. She had a family meeting, our family meeting. And you know what we discussed? She scheduled the meeting. My wife and I were surprised. And during the meeting, what she was saying, she was pointing out certain things that we were doing, thinking that we're doing the right things for them. But they pointed it out that, hey, daddy, mom, some of these things that you do, we don't really like it. That's the conversation that you people should be having with your parents. So you want to make sure that you sit down with your parents, and you people are so blessed. You have the presence of Dr. Irene, who is a wonderful woman of God. That if you actually have a conversation with your parents and it's not going through the way you expect, I don't think your parents will even mind it for both all of you to sit down and actually get what you make out as a distraction and resolve it. I promise you, your parents will never like to see you fail in the future. All they're doing is to make sure that you become very, very successful in the future. I promise you. Get to see a single parent who will not wish their son or their daughter well. I haven't seen it. So, but it can't just be a misunderstanding. And yes, you want to make sure that you sit down with them and make sure that you iron it out. Does that help? That was victory.
Yeah, and I know, Dr. Ian, sometimes is when the kids are supposed to do their homework, they don't do it. So when now your parents send you on errand, that is when you want to do your homework. And you begin to say your parents have become distraction. No, they are not. You're supposed to set your goals and your time and work through it.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Doc. Thank you so much. So it's actually the top. I believe you have a next speaker, so it's 2:01. So
no, we finished at 2. This is our last. You're the last speaker for today.
Oh, I was so blessed to be there. Okay, good. Okay,
yes.
No doubt. Somebody, one of the participants said today was a bomb. Who was that?
I believe it's Glory.
yeah. So yeah. Okay, that was Glory. That today's session was a bomb. Yeah.
And so let me tell you, Glory and the sister, they are connecting from Spain, Madrid.
Oh wow, Glory! That's amazing. I visited. I actually did my grad studies in London, so I had the opportunity of traveling through. I lived in Amsterdam for 4 years. We visited Spain several times. Yeah, I've been to Spain, Italy. I've pretty much traveled the whole continental Europe.
And we have amazing. Emanuela from Ghana.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, Emanuela. Emanuela is dialing in from Ghana.
Yes, yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And she's a class rep. She's a class rep.
Wow, that's amazing. We cannot wait. As I said, Dr. Irene has a huge vision. You guys have no clue. This is just she's just planting the seed now. When the atmosphere is cleared with this virus, you guys just get ready what this whole thing is going to be in the next 2-3 years. She shared her vision with me, and it's crystal clear. It's going to blow up big time, and you better really, from Ghana, from Spain, you will be hosting us when we come to Spain. It's going to be amazing.
Yes, and we have Sakola from Zambia.
Wow. This is wow.
Sakola is from Zambia, and he is going to be our youth representative from in Zambia.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Wow. I've never been to Zambia. I cannot wait. I've been to several countries around the world. I cannot wait to be visit some of these countries. Zambia. I've been to Nigeria, many parts of Africa, but I've not been to Zambia. I cannot wait. This is fascinating. This is cool stuff. Yes, Olu?
I said I'm from Nigeria.
Hey, brother Olu, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Outstanding. I've been tonight. I've actually spent quality time in Lagos. I went to Abuja, went to Port Harcourt. Then from there, I flew to Dubai. Spent a month in Dubai with my family. It was a wonderful experience.
I'm from Nigeria too.
Oh, you're from Nigeria too. That's amazing. So
Nigeria is from Nigeria too. Yeah.
Say that again, Glory.
Our parents are from Nigeria too.
Oh, your parents are from Nigeria. Good. So we have,
Jamaica.
oh, somebody from Jamaica.
That's
Yeah.
Solange.
Oh, that's Solange. Oh, wow. Wow. So this is it's a diverse group, and this even just excites me more. Honestly, Dr. Irene, in my mind, I was thinking the participants were just local right there in Canada, but we just have people from different countries. This is just fascinating. This is amazing. And so this is going to be an international movement, and hopefully the good Lord will be willing. I'll still have some energy to travel and speak and do things with you. If not, Dr. Irene is there, my wife is there, and so this is going to be big. This is going to be huge. And as I earlier mentioned, my goal is for us to come to your cities and not take the stage, just to sit in the back of the room and hear you deliver this information powerfully and impact thousands of lives. Is that a deal? Is that a deal? If that's a deal, I want everybody to type in the chat, deal. Okay, I see Glory.
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's a
Dr. Ian, as you were just speaking, something just came to my mind. Dr. Abby, please, I know I haven't discussed this with you because it wasn't something that I had in mind before. So let me say, on the last day when we close at 2 o'clock and certificates are being distributed, the topics, we're going to find about 5 people to choose each of the topic that was presented by guest speakers to revamp what they have learned. And there's also a reward for everybody who deliver properly. So you have to write to Dr. Abby, right? That I want to talk on this topic. You have to give your topic to Dr. Abby, and you have to do your best. And after your best has been done, you have a $25.
Wow.
So and you must deliver very well because we're going to be giving you scores. So you guys want to become motivational speakers, this is the platform that you're going to start. You're going to go create your own, use the information we've given you, just like Dr. Ian has done. Create your PowerPoint and come here and deliver mightily. I want to see the flow.
So how many minutes is each person gonna have for that?
We're gonna give them. What do you think is the
right? 5-10 minutes.
I think 5 minutes will be good. Not to take the whole day, 5 minutes to summarize it.
Yeah.
5 minutes you can summarize it in 5 minutes.
Okay, yes. Great.
And then Victory actually had another question that if you are finished, Doc, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
It says, excuse me, as a parent, what advice would you give to your child who is always on distraction? Victory, this is what I say. Hey, I tell my kids, all I'm here to do as a parent is to guide and direct them in the right direction. I tell them every action that they take has a consequence. It's either a positive or a negative. So I try to paint the positive for them, the consequences of them not doing certain things. I tell them, hey, if you don't do this, these are the consequences. This is what you're going to face in the future. It's their life, right? It's their life. I would love to see them successful. I would love to see them accomplish whatever goals they have set for themselves. All we are here as parents to do is to guide you in the direction, in the right direction. That's all we're doing. So if they're actually always a distraction, and if I see, as I earlier mentioned, that is not something really within my handling, my wife and I, if we cannot handle it, I think we can always seek the advice of a coach or a counselor if that's really going off hands. But I pray none of that happens to any of you. But as I earlier mentioned, believe me or not, your parents will always have your interests at heart when you're doing something. So if they're telling you certain things, they just want you to be successful. So that's what I would do. Just all my wife and I would do is just give advice, telling them the consequences. everything that you do in life has its consequences. So it can, whether it's negative or positive. If you take the trainings that Dr. Abi, myself, Dr. Irene, what we are just pouring into you and use it, you will be better than millions of other kids out there. That will be the consequence of you just being coachable and implementing the information. But if you decide not to, who knows? We're not praying for anything, but the results might not be the same, and that still will be a consequence. So we're telling you just to do things that will make you a better person in society tomorrow, and that you should become successful. And then you pay it forward, which is the goal of this whole thing. That, as I said, coming into any of your cities in the next 5-10 years, I don't want to be on stage talking or sitting behind the mic. Yes, I can answer certain questions, but hey, I would love to see you be the speakers. Just you. So it's not for us. It's really for you. It's everything we do is for your own interest. So, and then again, once you become successful, please pay it forward. So that's what is important here.